Alright guys, so I'm changing up the script a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to make some apple butter. So what I'm doing is a half-hearted job of coring these poor little apples. Basically, I want to get about 6.5. Try to get 6 pounds. But, you know, do what you can. So luckily, I was able to get these discounted because they were, some of them were bruised and, you know, all that fun stuff. But this is what you want to do. You want to kind of get rid of that end and then just cut around the core, or if you have an apple core or whatever, that's fine too. So my knife work skill is a little shoddy. I haven't actually had to work a knife in a long time, but you get the idea. You want to kind of just, you don't have to cut them too fine, anything like that. This is my first attempt at making apple butter, so we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, I got about 12 more of those to do. So I'll be back in a few minutes and hopefully we'll be able to show you a couple extra things. Alright, so small update. Change the knife because that knife was trash. I was doing all this work to top to bottoms, blah blah. Like, this is so much easier than that crap I was doing before, and I'm wasting far less of the apple. And then I go through and I just kind of do a little, and I had a bad spot on it from where it was dropped, whatever, come through. Like, this is so much easier this way. Like, why was I fighting it a minute ago? Like, this is so stupid. Ah! Oh no! Come back. There we go. Okay. Situation's fine. We're good. If you want to buy me a new cutting board, donate. Also, Christmas is coming up. Cutting board. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so what we have now is, these are my apples. I've got them cut as finely as I'm going to. I'm not going to go crazy with this stuff right now. I've got this filled with water. Kind of move them around a little bit, get some loose stuff knocked out. I'm going to throw my colander in here, strainer, whatever you want to call it. And we're just going to let those drain for a shit. Sorry, I mean a bit. That's what I meant. And next, we're gonna get the measurements for the spices. Now, this is gonna be the fun part. Why? Because I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure if I have a measuring system that will allow me to do this. So now there are many different ways that you can do this. We're just going off the cuff here. I thought I had everything set up, but I don't. So what I do have, besides a lack of preparation, I've got nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, there's cinnamon, and vanilla extract.
With the Madagascar vanilla beans, Maurice.
Alright, so we find the correct measurements for those. And on this, we will use my trusty phone. Why? Because I screenshot the recipe. Riveting! Alright. So we will need 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of light brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and then there's some salt and vanilla extract. Let me get those thrown into a bowl. Let me get those thrown into a bowl, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and throw the measurements up here on the phone, or on the screen, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so this is all the stuff mixed up with the exception of my vanilla extract. This may come as a surprise to some of you. I'm not exactly sure if I used the right measurements or not, but it will be fine. How do I know it'll be fine? Because none of these will just automatically combust and kill us, so, you know, some of you guys might be getting some free apple butter that might suck. You never know. But supposedly this particular recipe, after it's all said and done, is good for about 2 weeks or so. So yeah, some of you actually might get some trash apple butter. You never know. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up now. Give me just a second here. Alright, so at this point, my apples have been washed, my mixture has been mixed. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Why did I say that? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so now what we do, throw that away, come over here, and just cover the whole thing, because I'm sure that's good for everybody. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Alright, so, get that in frame there. Alright, so we've got that. Now, as you can tell, I'm going to be using my Ninja Foodie to do this. And they usually like a little bit of liquid. Now, technically speaking, the water that I used should be more than enough to get something going. But I want to make sure that I get an extra little punch, so I'm using some of our there you go, some Kroger brand apple cider. Why? Because I get the 10% discount. And we'll just pour that in there. That'll give it a little bit of liquid. Actually help punch home that apple flavor. So while I get the Instant Pot set up and everything, just kind of bear with me and I'll be right back in a minute. Alright, so I've got my apples in here. I've got my lid prepped. I'm going to set it to seal. And I'm going to fight it. There it is. It's down. So we turn it on. She says Ninja Foodie. So we want to come over here to pressure. I believe we want to do high on 90. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Let me make sure that that's right before. High pressure for 90 minutes, and then we natural release. So there we go. It should come to pressure in about 10 minutes or so. But we will we'll get to that point when we get there.
One eternity later.
Do I have 23 minutes before I get it over there? It's taking too long. Yep. That happened.
One eternity later.
Alright, so it's been doing the natural pressure thing for the past 13 minutes. It's still under a little pressure. Alright, so after my little mini freak out about the pressure being on there, we're to the point now where we can actually use the immersion blender to puree our apples. I have not opened this yet, but I'm hoping for big things. So, turn the lid. Oh my goodness. I don't know I was about to say, I don't know if you guys can smell this, but I know for a fact that you can. Smelling that is absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness. So now, we use the immersion blender. This is a neat little tool. I've never used one before. I guess I'm doing it right. If not, oh well. Like there's anything too big in there. So anyway, so basically after we do the 90-minute pressure, 10-minute release, we come in, we do the puree, we put it on slow cook on high for 2 hours. This is, you know, for if you have an Instapot or Ninja Foodie like we do. And they say to prop it open about halfway, so you don't, you know, so you can actually let it kind of cook down. So I'm gonna find a way to do that. How? There you go. All right, so basically, like I said, at this point, you let it cook for about 2 hours, and we'll be back at that point. All right, we'll see you guys. All right, so here we are. Ignore the music in the background, watching something on YouTube. But this is apple butter after 4 hours in the slow cooker, 90 minutes of high pressure and 10 minutes release. And like I said, I'll put the recipe there, and we'll see you guys a little bit later. So far, so good. It tastes amazing. I know that for a fact.